Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope that you're all well and having a great day so far. If you're new here, hi, I'm Emma and I love to read. Today when I'm filming this, it's the release date for the new FIFA or whatever it's called now. So I've lost my husband to his PlayStation for the next few days. That basically gives me a free weekend and I'm thinking reading vlog, which is exactly what we're going to be doing today. I've got 3 series I'm in the middle of and I need to read one more book to either complete the series or be up to date until the next book comes out, and I've been really excited to read them. I've got Wildcard by Elsie Silver. This is a brand new release and I believe it's the 4th and final book in her Rose Hill series. Another new release that I've picked up is Saving the Rain by Elliot Rose. This is book 4 in the Crimson Ridge series and I've, pretty much enjoyed most of the books in this series so far. So yeah, looking forward to reading this one as well. And my last book that I'm going to be reading in this vlog is Beg, Borrow or Steal by Sarah Adams. So this is book 3 in the When in Rome series. And if I read this, I'll be up to date with the series so far. I think book 4 is coming out later this year. So yeah, really excited to read all of these books. This weekend's going to be really relaxed. I've got my comfy clothes on. I'm going to make myself a coffee, chill on the sofa and just really enjoy some reading time. I'm probably going to start with Wildcard. So yeah, come along and read some books with me. So the first book that we're going to be reading is Wildcard and I did pick this up in a recent book haul that I did. If you've not seen that video, I will link it for you, but I've been wanting to read this book for a while. It's age gap and it's also ex-boyfriend's dad. They're both tropes that I really enjoy when they're done well. I think it's quite different from anything that Elsie Silver has done before. I'm very interested to see her take on these tropes, but from the few reviews that I've seen so far, it seems to have had a bit of a mixed reception. Now, whether that's because, the people that didn't like the book don't enjoy those tropes or it's not what they're used to seeing from Elsie Silver, I'm not sure. But I'm going to go into it with an open mind and as I said, I've really been looking forward to it. Okay guys, so I just wanted to give you a quick update. I'm now on page 78, about to start chapter 9, and reading so far, we've now got the backstory. We know how Gwen and Sebastian met in the first place, and we've also got some context for how Gwen also met Sebastian's son, the relationship between Sebastian and his son. So we've got the backstory now, and this chapter has just brought us sort of timeline wise up to date with where the end of book 3 finished, and that is where they're in the bar, they're doing a pub quiz and the boys are out with Sebastian. Gwen is sitting with the girls in the friendship group. They've just come together and the friends have gone to introduce them and it's come out that they already know each other. So that bomb has dropped. That's where we'd got to previously. And I guess the rest of the book now is going to be in that present timeline. I'm on page 291, so roughly about 3/4 of the way through the book now, and I am really enjoying it so far. It does feel quite different compared to some of Elsie Silver's other books. It's a little bit more slow burn, and maybe that's because of the ex-boyfriend's dad trope. Sebastian doesn't want to do anything that could potentially damage the relationship that he has with his son, and I think it's been handled quite respectfully so far. I am really enjoying the sort of yearning between the two characters, because Grace and Sebastian obviously really want each other. They're obviously drawn to each other from the get-go, and I don't think that they've found anybody previously that they feel that way about. So yeah, as I say, it is a little bit different, but I'm very much enjoying it. I do really like Clyde, who is one of the supporting characters. He's an older member of the town of Rosehill. He's a bit cantankerous. I think he's got to that age where he just says what he thinks. He likes to stir the shit a little bit, and he's just not bothered. He's quite happy to drop a bomb and sort of sit in the awkwardness. I think he finds it quite entertaining, actually. But he's a very lovable supporting character, and he cares very much about Sebastian and wants him to be happy. But I think he also cares a lot about Grace. They formed a really nice bond, and she's been looking after him while he's been recovering from an operation. But we're getting at, it's getting sort of towards late afternoon. I do have to pop out and do a walk. I don't think I've told you guys this, but I'm actually doing 75 hard right now. So I do need to pop outside to do my outdoor workout. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. When I get back, I may grab something to eat, and I'll check in with you guys a little bit later. Just got back from my walk, and while I was out I did switch to the audiobook so I could carry on with my story. I'm now on page 352. While I was walking past all of the cars queuing in rush hour, that was when all the spicy scenes were on, so I've had to practice my poker face. Otherwise I think my eyebrows would have been like up the back of my head. I probably would have had a really weird expression, so I've had to keep my face very serious while I've been walking around. But yeah, the spice has finally happened, so I wouldn't say this book is overly spicy. There's a bit of spice for sure, but as I said, it's been quite a slow burn in this book. So yeah, I've got about, I think, another 90 pages to go, and yeah, I'm enjoying it. I don't think out of the whole series this is my favourite book. Obviously I've not got to the end yet, so it might sort of really grip my interest in the last few pages, but from what I've read so far, I would still say that book 2, Wild Eyes, is my favourite. But yeah, I've enjoyed all of Elsie Silver's books. I think they're very easy to pick up and just binge. Very easy to read. You can get through them. You don't have to think too much. It's just great escapism. I've just finished Wildcard, and it was an enjoyable read. Very easy to binge, as are all of Elsie Silver's books. As I said earlier though, it's not my favourite of the Rosehill series, but it's still a solid 3.5 stars for me, and yeah, worth giving it a try. If you're looking for an age gap, ex-boyfriend's dad trope, I think this book is on the softer side. So I think better recommendations for those tropes would be Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas or Chasing the Wild by Elliot Rose. So I would recommend those two books more so than this one. Looking at the next two, I'm not sure what I want to choose now between Beg, Borrow or Steal or Saving the Rain. It's about, well, we're coming up to 7:30 in the evening now, so whichever book I start, I'm not going to get finished tonight. Oh, what to choose, what to choose. I think I'm going to go with Beg, Borrow or Steal, just because I think I want to read Saving the Rain in one sitting. But Sarah Adams is a brand new author to me this year, and I did read the first 2 books in the When in Rome series over the last couple of months. So yeah, happy to start book 3. It's more of a closed door romance, this author, so you're not going to get as much spice as you would with Elsie Silver or, you know, some of the other romance authors. But I really enjoyed the banter between the characters in the last couple of books, so I'm hoping that this one is just as good. I thought that Sarah Adams wrote closed door romance, and I can't remember any spice really being in When in Rome and Practice Makes Perfect, which were the first 2 books in this series. But at the start of this book, it does say in the author's note that if you prefer closed door, you can skip over chapters 25 and 32. So it looks like there's going to be a bit of spice in this one. I'm on page 71, just about to start chapter 6, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I do really like Sarah Adams' writing. The main character in this book, Emily, she is one of the Walker siblings. So book 1 was about Noah, the eldest brother. The second book was about Annie, the youngest sister. And now this is Emily's book. We know from previous books that unfortunately the Walker family lost their parents at a young age, and I think their grandma was sort of the main caregiver. The grandma has recently passed away, and we know that Emily, I think, has had a bit of trouble with, you know, she loves a small town, she wants everything to stay the same, but as her siblings are, you know, getting into relationships, I think she's worried that they're going to move away and she's going to be left on her own. So this is something that I think she's being quite worried about. Emily knows the main male character, Jack, from college, and then she worked with him at an elementary school. But he moved away with his girlfriend. They were going to get married. That marriage didn't go ahead. They've broken up, and now he's moved back to Rome, Kentucky. So they've had interactions in the past. It's more of a rivalry. It's kind of enemies to lovers, kind of a workplace rival. They like to quip with each other, get under each other's skin, and they're definitely jibing at each other, but there's sort of like an undertone of like sexual tension to it. I think they like each other really, but they also like this sparring that they've, you know, just developed a habit of doing. So I'm intrigued to see where this goes. I think it's going to be a really enjoyable read. Morning guys, I think when I last checked in with you I'd read about 70 pages of Beg, Borrow or Steal by Sarah Adams, and I went to bed about 10 o'clock expecting to read for about an hour or so, and 3 hours later I was still reading. So I'm now on page 333, about to start chapter 33, and I'm not too far off from finishing this book. I'm really enjoying it so far, and I think when I'm done with this I'm probably going to have to buy another couple of books from Sarah Adams's backlist, because as I said, I'm really enjoying her writing. It's just so bingeable. So as well as this rival situation, Jack and Emily do have something else in common. Jack's a published author. He's very successful writing a mystery series, but he does write under a pen name because he doesn't want his true identity to be revealed. There's very few people who know that it's him who's really the author. And Emily has secretly been working on her first romance novel, and she's got to the stage where she wants to send her manuscript off to editors, I guess, and publishing houses. So this comes out in conversation, and Jack has been trying to sort of give a bit of advice and encouragement, you know, without sort of giving away that he's a published author himself. I've really been enjoying the interaction between the two of them. There's also forced proximity because Jack lives in the house next door. He bought it as a fixer-upper, unbeknownst to the fact that Emily is his neighbour, but I think it's probably worked out in his favour actually. I also really like that you get this sort of sense of community and found family. As I said, the Walker siblings lost their parents when they were at a young age, so they're very tight-knit. But as you know, each of the siblings has found like a new relationship, that partner has been brought into the fold, and I guess like the overall friendship group. So it's also really nice to see like glimpses of them as well. And we're also seeing a little bit of Madison and James, who I think are going to be the main two characters in the fourth book. But yeah, I'm going to sit and finish this off. I don't think it's going to take me too long, and then I'll do like a final wrap up. I've just finished Beg, Borrow or Steal and really enjoyed it. I absolutely flew through this book, just devoured it in a very short space of time. Solid 4 stars for me. I wouldn't say this book is particularly spicy. If you are into closed door romance, as the author has written at the start of the book, you can skip over those 2 chapters. But I wouldn't say that those chapters are particularly spicy in my opinion. They're more of a green chili pepper if you use the chili pepper scale. They're very short in length, but they're also not very descriptive or graphic. So for me personally, I could have done with a little bit more spice possibly, but it didn't take away from the story. I very much enjoyed this book. One thing I will say though is towards the end of the book there is a situation that arises between Jack and his father. His father very much oversteps. He's not a very nice person, and I would have liked to have a bit more detail and for Sarah Adams to expand on that a little bit more, so as the reader we know what happens, we know what Jack's response to that situation is. So in that sense I felt like the ending was a little bit rushed. I would have liked, I don't know, maybe another 50 pages to wrap up that situation, and maybe have a little bit longer epilogue. But as I said, you know, it's still a fantastic book, a solid 4 stars for me. And the last book I'm going to be reading in today's vlog is Saving the Rain by Elliot Rose, and this is a highly anticipated read for me. So where Beg, Borrow or Steal was very low spice, this one I'm betting is going to be the other extreme. Very spicy, as all her other books were. It's small town cowboy romance, and this is the first romance in the series, so I'm really excited to see how she portrays this. The main character, Case Wilder, we've met in all of the books. So in book 1, we didn't like him at all. He was a bit of a screw up. He didn't treat his girlfriend at the time very well. He actually took a loan out in her name, didn't pay it off, left her with a load of debt. So we thought that he was a bit of a dickhead, to be honest. But over the last few books he's played a supporting role, and he's had a very big character evolution during this time. Matured a lot and tried to be, I think, a better person than he was before. So as the reader, his character, he sort of endeared himself to me, and I'm now rooting for him to also have a happy ending. I believe any reference to Case dating or hooking up with anybody previously has always been with a woman, so this possibly could be his first relationship with a man. I'm not entirely sure. Elliot Rose's books tend to have a forbidden romance element to them, and they're also a bit taboo. What I have found from reading previous books though is when you see sort of like the headlines on the back of the book, it's never as bad as it initially sounds. This one, I don't think is age gap necessarily, but it is stepbrother. So I'm very interested to see what she does with this trope, and yeah, really looking forward to it. I'm on page 121, just about to start chapter 14, and obviously we already knew going into this book that it was going to be a stepbrother romance. Zeke and Case have now sort of met each other in present day. They've both ended up working on the same ranch. Neither one knew that the other was going to be working there. And we've had a bit of a window into their childhood, how they met when Case's mother married Zeke's dad. What their childhood was like for them, how some resentment built up, and they've not parted on the greatest of terms. We've also been told about the events that led Case to steal that money from his ex-girlfriend, and now I understand those circumstances more. I am a little bit more sympathetic towards him. But right now they're both sort of in each other's circles, working at the same ranch. Both of them are bull riders. Zeke has retired, so he's not competing anymore, but Case currently is. But there's definitely some frostiness between them, so yeah, I'm interested to see how this story develops, but I'm enjoying it so far. Since we last spoke, I've read another couple of chapters and I'm now on page 161, which is about to start chapter 19. Case has had quite a serious rodeo accident, so he's woken up in hospital. He's suffering from some memory loss, and because his dad's working away, Ryan has been contacted as his emergency contact. So he's having to live on Chase's dad's ranch to essentially help him hold the fort, do some work on the ranch, keep an eye out for Chase while he's recovering. So there is a forced proximity element to it. We're getting dual POV in the chapters, as we, have with all of the books in this series. But what we're also getting with this one is present day, and then it jumps back in time to when they were younger. So we're also getting both of their perspectives on their childhood as well. And actually, a couple of minutes ago, this book was delivered. It's called Fall I Want by Lara Parrish. And is that not the most autumnal cover ever? And it's got these absolutely stunning sprayed edges as well. I'm really pleased with how this copy looks. It's an absolutely gorgeous copy. I will be doing a cozy autumn reads reading vlog fairly soon. So hopefully that's something you also might be interested in. But that should be up on my channel fairly soon as well. Guys, the spice in this book, so good, so good. I'm on page 305 now, about to start chapter 34, but I am going to have to switch to audio because I need to fit in my outdoor workout. Unfortunately, it's raining outside and I think it's going to be raining for the rest of the afternoon, so I might as well go while it's light. I'm probably going to come back looking like nothing on earth. I know I'm going to get drenched in the rain, but this is what 75 hard is. I've got to just man up and go and do it. But I'm going to switch to Audible, continue the story while I'm walking, and then yeah, when I get back, hopefully there shouldn't be too much left. So just having a quick look now. There's about another 140 pages left, but yeah, I am really enjoying this book. I think actually, compared to the series as a whole, this one could be in close competition to Chasing the Wild, and I think it's Bouquets and Buckles for the top spot. It's really good. I like the fact that Chase is having a sort of sexual awakening, if you like. It's the first time that he's having a relationship with a man. He was questioning his sexuality a little bit at the start of the book because he'd had a kiss with a man at a New Year's Eve party, but he'd never sort of gone any further. So a lot of the things that he's experiencing with Rain is his first time, and it's very interesting to see like both of their POVs on this, as well as trying to wrestle with their sexual feelings towards each other compared to the irritations and some of the conflict they had when they were younger. Obviously they're both adults now. I think Chase is in his late 20s, Rain's in his early 30s. But yeah, it's if you're looking for something spicy and you want to try an romance, I would definitely recommend this one. That's Saving the Rain finished, and I really enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed it a lot more than the previous two books in the series. Not because they were bad by any means, I just think that Elliot Rose has really stepped it up with this one. Great storyline, spice was immaculate. Yeah, it was a really good read. Absolutely blew through it. I didn't notice the time, it didn't drag, great pacing. So yeah, a solid 4 stars from me. I think it's been a really successful reading vlog. We've had Wildcard, which was 3.5 stars, Beg, Borrow or Steal, which was a 4-star read, and Saving the Rain, which was another 4-star read. And I've just really enjoyed doing this video. It's been so nice just to sit down and set aside some proper dedicated time to do some reading, and it's just been so relaxing to do it. I have got other reading vlogs on the way, so stay tuned for those. But if you enjoyed this video, please let me know by giving it a like, and if you'd like to see more videos from me, hit that subscribe button and notification bell, because I would love to have you back. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you on my next one.